We've got the Lady Ballers review dropped on Friday from the Daily Wire. And then we're going to be talking about the Godzilla X King Kong trailer that dropped, and just wondering what they're thinking about. Like, is this a good news or is this bad news for Godzilla fans, considering Godzilla Minus One came out to a really great opening?
Well, the timing for the trailer was epic.
I'm just trying to wonder if it's I think it's good and bad. I think we'll get into the discussion about it, but and we can explain that. We're going to talk a little bit about Doctor Who's second episode special, and not a whole lot about it, but we're going to talk about it since that was something that was big last week. Also, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse director says Bob Iger's comments are absolute BS. So we're going to talk about that, which not many people are brave enough to say that out loud. That actually works for the man. And Paramount Public Relations shuts down BBC Kelsey Grammer interview over Trump, which will be interesting. Plus, we got the Weekly Weird. Brian, how are things going for you?
Oh, not bad. I woke up this morning with a sore throat and a headache, which is pretty typical of a long weekend. But finally got my house decorated for Christmas. My kids are happy, and it looks like the elves on the shelves have now appeared, which makes them very happy about that.
All right, that's cool.
You do the elf on the shelf thing?
I think we have one, but we don't like do it. You know what I mean? Like,
we do
it's just like a decoration, you know?
We do it, and I'll tell you something. It's a really cool thing until you're on like day 15 and you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired of doing this. Because you have to come up with like unique ways for the elves to get into mischief every day.
So that's right. You actually play the game with them.
Yes. And they love it. And so I'm not going to stop until they don't love it.
That's cool.
But, my God, it is it's torture every year. On like day honestly on like day 7, I'm like, oh my God, there's 15 more days of this. Jesus.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. Yeah, for me, it's this is wild. I got like a giant spider right in front of me, my face right here. What the hell is going on here?
Dude, it's Charlotte. She's trying to weave you a message.
Well, the message is get the hell out of my scene, man. This is my show right now. Giant
She's sending you a super chat like Ken just did.
Yes, and thank you, Ken. And so you know why Ken sent the super chat? He wanted us to talk about the Stream Hero because that should have put him pretty close. I can't read for whatever reason. I cannot. The screen is totally blurry when I look at the YouTube channel, so I cannot read the name up there. What does it say?
Oh, it's blurry. It shouldn't be blurry. My bad.
Well, for me,
right now it just says Popcast Unleashed.
Okay, so it hasn't got to Kenneth LaRoque yet, but
it'll make it right now. He just did another $10, so it'll turn over.
So thank you, Kenneth, for that wonderful super chat. Last couple episodes, you've been an absolute rock star. We appreciate the support so much, and of course, no comment needed. He's just a badass who donates to us. Thank you so much.
There's a $10 one, and then boom, popped up another $2 one. He's just,
what the hell do I got to do to knock this thing down?
Feeding it in there.
Well, he knows he's afraid that Rec Thoughts is going to like roll in here, or Chappie or somebody with like $2 and steal the Stream Hero. So
that's a good point.
That's what usually ends up happening.
That's a really good point.
So I'm with you on the Christmas thing because my 14-year-old is like obsessed with Christmas right now. So he conned us into bringing. I don't usually decorate for Christmas till about 2 weeks before Christmas because I don't like doing it. I no longer like climbing up on my roof and putting up the lights and doing all that stuff. I just don't really dig it so much, and I'm older, so it's not that much fun for me. But he's like, listen, this year, Dad, I'll do it. Like, I'll decorate everything. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I helped him get everything out.
Yeah.
So everything's like sitting around for like several days. And I'm like, okay, buddy. He said, you're gonna get your friend over here. You can go do it. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So of course, last night, I'm out there doing it because it's either put him up or put everything away. So he ended up getting me to do it. So
yeah, my kid said something similar. Like, we'll do it, and they put the Christmas tree up and like, a piece of garland. They're like, hey, how's it look? And I'm like, where's the rest of the stuff?
At least you got a piece of garland on the tree. I'm like, dude, you're sitting there doing nothing. But anyways.
Oh, my mic is not working on the Prime channel. Oh, thank you for letting me know. It was muted. I apologize.
Was your mic muted this whole time?
Just on the Prime channel.
Oh.
I guess I don't know why. It's weird. I unmuted it though. So
Joe Cronin Show, $5. Here's $5 so the IRS doesn't get it. I hate myself.
oh goodness.
Joe, we love you, Joe. Man, your
Hopefully
content
it's working
is
on
fantastic.
Prime. Yeah, Joe. I think like everyone thinks it's a joke that he has trouble with the IRS, but this is now like a year of him talking about the IRS. I think he legitimately has
really
trouble
does have
with
trouble.
the IRS.
Yeah. Don't worry, we've all been there, Joe.
So I'm really low, and you're like, oh, God, this stupid auto gain thing. I can't figure it out. I'll fix it right now.
Let me know if I should talk quieter.
No. I got it. It's a stupid. I can't. Windows has this auto gain thing. You have to turn it off every single time you stream, or the second I say, "Hey, everyone," it's like, "Oh, we gotta drop this or down."
Oh, you started out loud. That makes sense.
Yes. Okay, I fixed it. And auto gain turns on by itself. I just fixed it. It should be good now. Thank you, everyone, for showing me how much trouble I'm in with this.
We always come to the show thinking we are like perfectly set and prepared, and there's always something wrong that goes wrong at the beginning.
Yeah, I was at our shop until like 9:30. I'm like, Shane, don't worry, I'm on the way home right now. Everything's set up already. It's gonna be good. Don't stress out. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm not even remotely ready yet. So
yeah, I'm just trying to get to the
I'm like barreling through the front door. I'm kicking my dog out of the way.
No, I woke up this morning thinking, why do we do a show 3 days a week again? Why do we do it so early on Mondays?
It is the best part of my my day. So
it does get us going, and I really love it.
Really
so
does.
So why don't we get into it since we're here and we want to get this thing moving? So
yeah.
So Stream Hero, we've already got that rolling. You guys know how it works. Joe Cronin shows snuck in there.
Yeah,
with his $5
Joe Cronin stole it from.
He's currently the Stream Hero. So congratulations, and the timer is counting. Brian has us. Whoever has it longest will win a prize, a mystery prize from mixtees.com. So
damn, Ken was trying to get in there, and I think he was like a few cents off. I gotta figure out this HP, but he just checked it.
He's like, what? So that's all right. That's all right, Ken. We got your back, buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about Lady Ballers. Okay, so I watched Lady Ballers. Interesting enough, Daily Wire uses a pretty popular CRM for their website. And
we don't know what that means, Brian.
It's content management system.
Okay.
And I went to the stream, and I was gonna like sign up to watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that like the parent page was one frame, one link off. Like it's like there was a link ahead of the link that they sent out. So I just deleted that portion of it, went back, disabled Java and refreshed, and boom.
Well, they fixed it really quickly.
They fixed it very quickly.
Yeah, because you were able to watch it, and you sent it to me, and I'm like, oh crap, I can't, because I was in the middle of like taking care of my kids. And so I tried to watch it a little later, and it had already been fixed. So I had to pay the $15. Yeah, I'm really interested to talk about.
Not that I'm saying you shouldn't support. I'm just saying, like, if your website's broken, expect people to take advantage of it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on Lady Ballers as far as like, what's the purpose of it? Like, why are they making it? We know, we can give some background on Daily Wire, but if you can pull up an image of Lady Ballers to just remind people of what it is we're taking a look at here. So the Daily Wire, which is a subscription channel, I guess you could say, you can see their videos on YouTube frequently. They have quite a bit of content. It's a conservative, right-wing media organization that has some pretty popular people like
Ben Shapiro, Candace
Owens, the guy who played was it Matt Walsh that played the?
The main character. This is actually the owner of Daily Wire. His name is Jeremy Boring.
Right, but the guy who played the boyfriend or the current lover.
That's Matt Walsh. Yeah,
that was Matt Walsh, right?
Yeah. You know what's funny is I didn't even recognize him right away.
I didn't recognize anybody but Ben Shapiro, actually. Just because I see his videos more frequently on YouTube pop up. But yeah, so this is very interesting. I got to tell you, my first impression of Lady Ballers is that it's a pretty darn good home movie. Like actually a really good Like if you just got with your friends and decided you wanted to like make a movie, that's kind of what this feels like a little bit to me. It doesn't feel like necessarily a huge Hollywood production, even though it has elements of it.
It has elements like they have good equipment, but not everyone is a professional.
Right. That's what it felt like, because, and I think it was actually probably pretty close to being able to pull it off. Some of the things that were missing, I think sometimes when you love your own product, like if you make a project and you're like in charge of it, like, and there's nobody like looking over your shoulder, you might have the tendency to go like full Lord of the Rings on your stuff, and and I think there's a little bit of that happening here. There's some editing, there's some edits that should have been made to this that would have tightened it and made it more of like a real movie feature. I think that would have made it better. And I think some of the overacting scenes or some unnecessary things that happen in the movie. There's a scene where one of the characters, one of the actors is out in the mountains, and that just takes too long. There's like a beaver in the basement.
So they were trying to set up the joke that he is a crazy person that actually captured the other person's mascot, and he's been holding it for like 10 years or something. But the joke took too much time to set up.
Well, and it just didn't serve any point to the narrative, like to what the story was about. So it was just kind of unnecessary. And I think there's several moments in that, like the brothers getting into fights and rolling around on the floor just happened way too frequently.
Yeah.
And there were some elements of that kind of took you away from the story. But the overall interesting thing about this movie, I think, is that it really does grind into the idea of, of men playing women's sports, or at least biological men playing women's sports, and potentially how that could be abused.
Well, also the absurdity of, in my opinion, the absurdity of a lot of the people that like blindly support it. Like this scene in particular, I stopped here because this was really funny. When he pulls up, his catalytic converter was pulled out by his truant students. And she's trying to tell him through the door. He tells her to take off her mask. She takes off the mask, and there's another mask.
Right, that was funny.
And then another mask. And I thought that was like so. Like if you guys remember during COVID, like that was like the thing. Like you got to triple mask up, and like it was just silly. Like if one mask ain't doing it, guys, 3 masks ain't doing it. Like just get over it.
And one of the things I really loved about this, I think you're right. One of the things I loved about this is he's also wrong. So it's not like he's also doing. It's the 4th time he's been like super late. He's obviously not being the best, dad he can be. So it's not like they're showing the main character as being perfect by any shape. So you would think that obviously there's an agenda here for the Daily Wire. Like this is the belief system of the people who work on this show.
Sure.
And so they lean heavily towards their beliefs. But I think what's interesting is they didn't make the main character perfect.
No,
everybody else.
They made him sort of a loser, sort of a narcissist. Even
they made him also part of the problem,
right?
Which I thought was interesting and an interesting way to do it. But overall, what the show's about basically is the ridiculousness, like Brian said, of men. Playing, biological men playing women's sports and essentially dominating women's sports. Yeah. And that's kind of the message of the movie.
Yeah. And they tackle some of that stuff along the way. Like sort of the absurdity of people blindly accepting it. For instance, when he first signs up for the track meet with his former student, Alex, who was working at a drag bar. So he happens to be in his wig.
Well, it was like a restaurant. It was weird. It wasn't even a bar.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, like a drag restaurant, right?
Drag restaurant, yeah.
And which, by the way, did you notice he also ended up getting a job there because
he was working. He needed a job.
He needed a job. Too, yeah. So like he took what he didn't get. And the person that has like the trans ally, she has all the flags and the buttons, and she's mad at him immediately because he's a white man, and she tases him.
Right.
And then she sees Alex come up with his wig and all that, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Completely changed.
Well, and what's interesting is they like her perception is like that's what it is, but it turns into an immediate like fear of being canceled.
Right.
So it's like it shows the dichotomy of like this person being like, "I'm going to beat up on you because you're a white guy, and because you're but as soon as she's put into a light where she could be canceled, she she becomes scared. And that's actually something we don't talk about in our society, is what is the motivation of people who are ridiculously supporting things that may not be people may not regularly support. Sometimes it's out of fear.
Yeah, sometimes.
Right?
Yeah, I believe that some people support the things that they might in their heart believe is ridiculous because their friend group is so toxic for not going along with it.
Right, because when after she, the coach hits his head and he gets up and he's like, now I don't have to go on social media against you. And there's a lot of cancel talk here in this, and she's like, oh, I didn't know. So there's kind of that whole element of, and I think that's a big part of it. People are scared to share what they really feel because they're afraid they might, they're not on the side of the majority.
Right.
And as we know, as human beings, especially from teenage years, until you get a little older, a lot of people just want to fit into the mainstream.
Well, and then speak of this guy, I thought they were going to be making fun of this guy the whole time, the Matt Walsh character, but he was actually, so he's playing the new lover of his ex-wife.
Which is pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, it was very funny. When you first come up, they show the signs here, and I pause here because it's like, in this house, we believe crickets are delicious. Silence is violence. Speech is also violence. No one is illegal, but Europeans coming to America was bad. Guns don't kill people. White people kill people. Also, guns kill people. Right. Rights are human rights. Pride Month is every month. Social credit scores matter. Inexclusive inclusion. The earth is literally going to burst into flames at any day.
Yeah.
So no, this guy, I thought they were going to make fun of him the entire time, but it's funny because he was depicted as a very nice, loving guy, and the entire time he was still the nice, loving guy. And
he's the guy who just wants everyone to be happy.
Yeah, he actually believes what he feels, right?
He really believes it, and it's like all these things he's saying up here, while there is some ridiculous to it, he's the guy who there are people just like this.
Right, just people that just want everyone to be happy.
Want everyone to be okay with each other. And so it's kind of interesting because you do think he's going to be the butt, but he, and he is to some degree because he's constantly hugging Jeremy.
Right, but they make fun of the people who are more hypocritical. They don't they don't make fun of this guy. And the fact the journalist, which is played by Brett Cooper and let me get to it. And not Andrew Clavin, the other guy. I'm forgetting his name. But the journalist,
the two or the one that plays the main character. You're talking about she was the journalist who sets it all up, or the two anchors?
The two anchors.
Okay. The
two anchors, played by this guy. I can always forget his name. But it's really funny. So he's one of the Daily Wire hosts. He tries to sort of push back against it when he's like, well, I mean, but and then he's immediately canceled on air.
Oh, it's Michael Knowles.
And when they go back, him and the Brett Cooper character are completely gone because
Well, they've been shuffled off to sensitivity training,
right? And when
they come back completely reprogrammed.
He's like, he's reprogrammed. He's like, he's wearing an Indian headdress. It's like, I'm actually 184th Indian, so I understand the struggle. Or
256th or whatever it was.
Right, and every time you see him, he's more and more in the Native American garb. And at some point, he literally does like
oh yeah, no, it goes totally ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. So essentially, the setup here is that so Coach Rob Gibson here, because of his daughter, he finds out at school that his daughter is learning all this stuff about LGBTQ community, and men can be boys, men can be women some of the time, and so he gets this crazy idea.
How did he find out? She goes, my friend Jenna showed me her penis today.
Oh, no, it was Jeremy or whatever. No, Kylie
or whatever. Yeah.
It was an actual boy name.
Right. But I guess the 8-year-old boy is trans, and so they're in the girls' restroom, and he's like the car.
Yeah, and he's like, he freaks out, and it's like this whole thing. And then, so essentially he starts, throughout the movie, we learn that he's basically learned this stuff from his kids. which, by the way, is kind of how it has worked. Like
Right.
my kids are the ones telling me everything about this because I didn't understand it either. And it just so happens he runs into his old basketball player because they were once champions, I guess. And he runs to his old, and he's doing the cross-dressing thing. So this accidental thing occurs where he's going to come compete as a dude, right, at this track meet where he's going to win $5,000. And because he left his wig on from his work, this whole like thing happens where it's like all of a sudden now he's misunderstood. They think he's a woman, and he competes and he absolutely destroys everyone.
Here's the shot put, which I thought was
that was my favorite scene. Favorite part of the whole scene was the shot put scene.
Yeah, here he is.
They're all like,
he's like,
no, it wasn't my favorite. My favorite was actually the wrestling scene.
Oh, the wrestling.
That was my favorite one. Because that's what you imagine when it's like, yes, let's put men and women against each other in certain things. So I thought that actor did a really great job. Daniel Considine. I don't know if he's
he looks like Woody Harrelson, right?
A little bit, yeah. He has that look, and he was actually really great in the film. I don't know if he's an actual actor or if he's part of. I don't understand.
No, I've never seen him before,
so he must be an actor.
I don't think he's part of the Daily Wire.
So he did a really good job. David Cohn, is he part of the Daily Wire?
None of the players are part of the Daily Wire.
Okay, so David Cohn played David Cohn, which I thought was weird. Like some of their names are the same as their characters' names.
Who is David Cohn? Is that the little guy with the beard?
He's the tall. No, David Cohn's the tall center. The guy, the one who the mountain man.
Oh, maybe he's like an actual. Maybe he's an actual athlete or something.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. It's a producer, right? I guess they just used his name.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's interesting. So some of the characters are like that. I thought the little guy who played with the beard was actually acted pretty well.
Yeah, he was actually funny.
One of the best. Yeah.
Yeah, and he reminded of, and no one's gonna know who this is. He reminded me of our friend Neil.
Well, yeah, nobody's gonna know that.
No one's gonna know, but he does. Yeah. We have a friend who's
Tyler Fisher.
Pretty much that guy.
He played the kid, the abused kid in the locker room who was just the towel boy who ends up becoming rich. Yeah.
And they needed him for the scam.
And of course the media is represented here as like, so Billy Ray Brandt plays Gwen Wild, who is the super attractive media lady who essentially concocts this whole thing and says, look, I know you guys are actually, you're a dude, but I can create a big story and I'll make myself a big name and you guys will win and I'll win. And she's essentially evil. Oh
yeah. I love how every time they were like, isn't that wrong? Or how are you going to do that? Just like, I'm a journalist. Like they really dunked on it was smaller than the trans thing, but they really dunked on journalists throughout this entire movie.
Big time. They dunked on everything I think that they typically dunk on.
Right.
The whole woke aspect, the whole anti-journalism, the whole women in sports.
They were really nice to the Matt Walsh character though. I felt like I was waiting for that to be dunked on, but it never happened.
No, you have to be, because there are people out there that just want the best for everyone, and you can't dunk on those people.
Yeah, because they're not doing anything wrong.
They're not pretending. They're not.
Yeah, they believe that they honestly believe that they want to help, that they're helping people and they want everyone to be happy. Yeah, it's true.
And to that same respect, I just want to say, like, I am by no means an expert on the trans community. Like, and I'm not going to pretend to say that I understand whether or not what trans is, whether it's something that actually people are born with, whether it's a mental condition. I'm not going to pretend that I understand in any way, shape, or form. I kind of tend to believe that I've spent a lot of time with people who are gay and lesbian, and I do feel like that is something that people are born with. And if that's the case, then it's probably a good chance that there are people who are born as men who think they should be women and vice versa. Sounds reasonable to me. But what I think when it comes to women's sports, because of what biology being what it is, I just think that whatever your gender, your genitalia is, I guess, should determine
your biology,
your competition
whatever
status.
Your biology is.
If you're doing physical competition your biology should determine who you do that with, so that people have an unfair advantage. When you go back and look at baseball, for example, and you go back to the Jose Canseco, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds era of steroid use, right? All of those guys who broke all the records, like there's asterisks next to their name, and they were shunned and they were shut down because they did something. They had an unfair advantage over everyone else, and so we should look at it in that same way. Like, if you have a superior biological advantage over another sex, you shouldn't be able to compete against them and take away all those things. It's just not fair. So that's above and beyond whether or not someone is or actually isn't trans. I don't know if all these people who are breaking all these swimming records, and I don't know if they're doing it like intentionally or if they actually believe. They actually have a moment in this movie where the main character, the secondary character, Alexa, thinks he might be actually trans. Like he comes to a point where he starts to believe that he is a woman.
I really liked Boring's speech there when he tried to explain, with all due respect, to the guy who was clearly getting confused by society, and I felt like a loser before, and now I'm a winner, and
right.
And see, like, obviously, that guy, whether you believe that people are born that way, or if it's like a dysphoria, or if it's society. In this case, it was 100% societal, and he was a confused guy. So the way he approached that was actually pretty rad. And then at the very end, when he's like, "Well, how do you know?" He just kicks him in the nuts and walks away,
which I thought was funny, but also kind of not fair.
But the way he explained before, how it's like, the way he explained, I'm not going to go into it. The way he explained before was much more loving. He finished. He topped it with the nut crunch.
Right. So hopefully people didn't take that as a, like, if you have
100% people took it that way.
Sticking. What's that? Well, if it's taken to the effect of, like, if you have that, then that's who you are through and through. I just don't think any of us really know the answer to that question.
Right.
So I wouldn't say that it's fair to say.
Let me expand on that. So Shane's saying we don't know the answer to the question. Okay, 100%. But like, there are people that act like they know the answer to the question, and they go explicitly so. They are exactly what they feel like, and not. Well,
those people are wrong too. Yeah.
Right.
No,
right.
Those people are also wrong.
And you can't really have that conversation without being canceled. It's sort of crazy.
I mean, I think only the person who's being affected, honestly, can know. In my opinion, I think if you were born and by the time you're 3 you start to remember things, and by the time you're 5 you're like, look, I've always felt this way about something. I think only those people know how they feel in their skin. Now, if you're 14, 15, or 16, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I think I'm this, but you've never felt that way the whole time growing up, then you might be having some sort of, societal delusion going on.
There's a reason why the trans people coming out as trans is up, like, 35% over the last 4 years. There's a correlation.
Easily 25% of the kids in my K through 8th grade school that my kids go to, I would say at least 20 to 25% of the kids think that they're trans. So yeah, and they walk around, say it, and act like it. It's totally blows my mind. It's absolutely not possible that that's the case. So there's definitely, if you don't believe that there's a societal impact on this whole trans thing, and not to take away from people who might be trans, but it is definitely impacting what kids think. Confused kids who don't, kids have a hard enough time knowing what they are or who they are until they're almost adults as it is. So, by labeling this thing as, well, I must be a boy if I like to climb trees, just isn't the right way to deal with it. So
yeah, and for parents of those kids, like, listen, if your kids can't pick their bedtime, maybe you should reconsider allowing them to pick their gender so far. Like, wait for them to get a little older, until they actually have hormones. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I stopped here because I think this board was funny. So she's explaining to all the players and the coach how everything works now, right? Pansexuals, trans, they, them, pronouns. But right in the middle, it just says frogs, and I think that is that's a nod to the They're turning the fucking frogs gay.
Oh, that's right. It all started with the frogs. I think it's funny. It didn't make any sense, of course. But,
of course not. Yeah.
You know, my only request is that if we are going to delve further into our society, that we just switch the they them thing. So I don't mind if somebody doesn't want to be called he or she, but I want to implore that we do not use they them because it's just too fucking confusing.
Yeah, we can't do that. Like
let's do they z or something.
I don't
or
care whatever side of the aisle you're on. Okay, it's confusing because the language has been this way for a countless amount of time, and now you're expecting people who already have a hard time understanding it to then also completely change like the meaning of words. That's not reasonable. You guys change. Yeah, make another word up or something.
You can't use like a pronoun that's already in use for a different purpose as a personal pronoun. Right. You know, you can't use a plural pronoun as a personal pronoun. It makes speech impossible. And then you're going to just end up upsetting a whole bunch of people. If I don't know whether you're a guy or a girl or how you want to be spoken to, I'm going to probably say he or she. It's just the way it's going to be. And if you say, well, actually, you know, it's Z, then I'm going to be like, oh, okay, well, I'll remember to call you Z from now on.
Yeah, whatever.
Not a big deal. You want to respect people and human beings.
Yeah, I have no problem using someone's preferred pronouns. It doesn't bother me.
I just can't do they them anymore.
But also, if I don't know them, you can't get mad at me because I didn't know them. Right. And don't expect me to go out of my way to learn them either. Okay, if it's that important to you, you got to be proactive about it.
You got to tell me. Yeah, you just got to tell me. Okay, and I think that's it. What is it worth watching? I don't think it's worth the $15 to watch it.
Did you think it was funny?
I thought there were moments of it that were funny. Mm-hmm. And I thought that it kind of gave an interesting, compelling message. I don't know if it actually solved any problems.
I don't think yeah. Go ahead.
I like the idea of how it ended, and I won't say how it ended. I like how something changed. And they kind of showed that as like kind of the way it should be. But I don't want to
it was heartwarming at the end with the little girls.
Well, I wasn't going to give that away. So, okay. Because I feel like it's kind of a big spoiler. So
you're telling him not to watch it though. So,
well, I'm saying I don't think it's worthy of it, but you know, there still might be people who want to watch it. You know, I saw it. I wanted to watch it. I was engaged. Like I watched the whole thing. I wasn't like distracted by other things going on. I sat and watched it. But I also think that the Daily Wire here is, look, if you really believe in something, like if you believe that there's something wrong in the world and that, you know, and I think we talked about this, either you and I talked about it, or we talked about it a little bit on Friday. If you believe in something strongly and you put it behind a paywall where only echo chamber people are probably going to go visit it,
right?
It's not going to reach anywhere. Like, so is your goal to make money off of this, or is your goal to change people's minds? Because I would argue that, you know, you got to find a way to get this in the theater, or you got to find a way to get it on Amazon Prime as a rental, or you got to find a way to get it in front of more eyeballs of people who might be more on the fence, as opposed to just, you know, pitching to your own team. And so that would be my, you know, and I actually sent feedback at the end of when I canceled my Daily Wire subscription, right at the end after watching this. So I paid him the $15 and then I immediately canceled my subscription because I'm not interested in watching that paid to watch that content. I immediately wrote his feedback. Listen, you know, applaud you guys on sharing your point of view. I think you're making a huge mistake by not making this available to people if you have a message to send. So I'm not sure whether the Daily Wire is trying to become a business that just makes a whole bunch of money, or whether or not they're trying to give another view to society.
Here's my opinion. I think they made a comedy, and like, would we ask the same question about basketball with Matt and Trey?
It was available to everyone.
Right, but like, are they trying to make a comedy, or are they trying to make a point?
No, they're trying to make well, these guys are trying to make a point.
I don't know.
For sure.
I don't think that it dived as deep as it should have to make a point. Like, this wasn't the documentary, What is a Woman? This was a comedy.
But they were trying to improve. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that obviously there was an entire point of view here that was being pushed. A strong point of view.
But it was a softball at best. I think they
No, hell no. It was just because it was a comedy doesn't mean it was softball. They were very specific about their points.
I think they set out to make a comedy that that other people couldn't make.
Well, yeah, because they could put it on their own thing. I mean, I still think you could make it. And if you put it out there, and if you could still make all these points. And if we live in a world where, like I see Anthony Mark put out here, Amazon will not allow it. If Amazon said we're not putting it on these platforms, but I got to say, at least you got to try. And maybe you initially, only put it out on the Daily Wire to make money. But at some point, maybe you can get sponsors that allow you to make it available and free to everybody. So maybe you get conservative businesses who will help monetize this movie so that they can make it available to broader audiences. I'm only saying, like, only echo chamber people are going to see this movie. And who needs to see this movie, Brian?
Everyone.
Do we need to make content for? Yeah, right. So do we need to make content for the right side of the for politically right? Is that
you're right.
Is that what they're doing? They're making content for right wingers?
I believe that everyone should see everyone's point of view, and I believe right now the only point of view anyone gets to see is the extreme left. You can't see the right's point of view. You can't see any of the thoughts they're making unless you go outside your echo chamber, which most people are not going to do, which means most people are not going to sign up for the Daily Wire to go see someone's point of view. I get what you're saying.
Well, and I would say, like I know Anthony's saying here, and none of the platforms will put it out there, YouTube, and he's probably right about some of them. They would not allow it, but I think Netflix would, because Netflix also had Old Dads out there, and I think
Old Dads had some of the same points. This movie
same
had.
points.
Yeah,
right.
And Old Dads, I thought Old Dads were very funny. Although I think there was more actual actors in Old Dads, which made more sense.
True. I mean, overall, pretty well done job. Worthy of a watch. I don't know if it's worth $15.
$15 is pretty high to rent a movie.
It is. It's pretty high. If it had been in the theater, I still would have only paid $12. So, and I might have gone to see it in the theater. So I guess it's not a whole terribly too much, but I guess you'll have to decide for yourself if you want to kind of see, the ridiculousness called out. It's very interesting to watch. That's where I stand on it.
Right. Yeah, I did think it was funny. I pretty much feel the same way. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good comedy. I do have the same exact criticisms over. I feel like the acting. A lot of the people here weren't actors, and it's obvious. A lot of the scenes definitely dragged on for way too long.
It should have been edited down.
It could have been edited tighter, way tighter. But overall, I laughed a few times. It was I didn't pay to watch it though, so maybe I would have felt different had I paid.
That's a good point. I did pay to watch it, so I guess maybe that's for if it had been free, maybe I would have been like, oh, right.
Overall, I think that we need more comedies like this, not specifically like about this subject, but like comedies that have, there's no limit on what they're allowed to say. And the fact that studios, Netflix, streaming services are they're only going to make movies, most of them anyways, that are within their own echo chamber, and most of them are far left. That means that there's a lot of comedies out there that we just can't watch. I watched the other day. I watched No Hard Feelings, and I thought, that movie was pretty funny.
It was, yeah. There were some funny things about it.
And I was like, why do I feel so nostalgic right now? And I realized why I felt so nostalgic. We haven't seen like a real comedy that wasn't like pushing some weird agenda or had
because good comedies push the envelope on societal norms, and we can't do that. I miss movies like The Ringer, where Johnny Knoxville is playing mentally challenged kid.
The movie was hilarious. Yeah, I missed that. Like, comedy is supposed to push the envelope a little bit, make you a little uncomfortable, make you question things, and ultimately make you laugh. And we haven't had good comedy in a long time because they don't do that. How many comedies have you seen where it's like, it's basically group of women go out to party, right? A bachelor, or they murdered someone, or girls' night out, or this person got her groove back. Over the last 8 years, it's like it's group of girls partying, hijinks. And so few of these movies are just actually pushing, or it's about a party thing where it's like a bunch of Zoomers that party and get in trouble. We have not seen in a long time Like the art of making a comedy that actually pushes him up. I would argue basketball was almost gross at points. It was ridiculous and over the
super
top.
old.
But the point of it was to be a comedy. Right. No Hard Feelings, though, had a narrative. There was some heartwarming elements to it. It pushed the envelope a little bit.
But that was also a romantic comedy.
That's true.
So it didn't go full like what we're talking about. It was more along the lines of, My Best Friend's Wedding or one of those it was more of a romantic comedy. The true comedies are very tough. You'd have to go watch maybe a Kevin Hart movie to get a really good comedy.
Yeah, CIA was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that movie a lot. But there's not a whole lot of good comedies anymore because they just don't push it.
Well, people are afraid. You're taking a risk.
I'm telling you, like, go look up the last 10 years of comedies, and look and just scroll through and see how many of them is group of diverse women in Vegas, group of diverse women in a wedding party, group of diverse women bachelor.
Those actually comedies?
Oh yeah, there's tons of them. There's tons of them. A group of diverse moms party. It's always something to do. and I'm telling you,
those are safe. Those are safe.
They're safe. Yeah. No one's gonna get in trouble. Yeah, it just.
Yep.
I do miss a good comedy, and this gave me a good comedy, even if the pacing was a little off, and the acting was a little off. Matt Walsh was surprisingly funny. I didn't, like I said, I didn't even know it was him until I actually realized it at the very end when he took his wig. I'm like, oh my God, it's Matt Walsh. I
didn't know who any of them were. I know who Candace Owens is because I've seen her, and I know who Ben Shapiro is, but I didn't know anyone else.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ben Shapiro only had that one scene.
It was good that he only had that one scene because he can't act.
He can't act for shit.
He can't act. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Overall, I think it was a funny movie. You should check it out, but maybe wait until it's less than $15.
And can I just say one other thing? I want to move on, but I was really disappointed that the Daily Wire made it very hard for me to do a month-by-month membership. I had to go through 3 different screens to try to get away from. They wanted to charge you that annual membership right up front.
It's super
it was very hard, and it was very hard to cancel. I really don't like that. I don't like that in companies. It's frustrating for me, and a lot of companies are trying to do this. They want you to sign up, but they don't want to let you out.
And you ask the question whether it's about making money or pushing a message. I'm like, I think that their primary goal is to make money.
Yes.
And their secondary goal is to use their message to do so.
I think you're probably right there.
And I'm not signed up for Daily Wire. I don't plan on signing up for Daily Wire. I actually am not a huge fan of Daily Wire. They're too stuffy for me. I do like some of their hosts, or at least some of the clips I've seen. But I also don't know all their politics. All I've seen is some of their TikToks and stuff. And but this movie, I'm glad that they made this movie. I hope this maybe starts, when we can get comedies back. Man, I miss comedies. That's it. I miss American Pie. I miss fun comedies.
Unless Elon Musk makes them, I don't know if we'll be able to do it. Nobody can afford it
on Twitter or whatever X.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Godzilla x King Kong trailer that dropped. Was it this weekend or was it today?
It was yesterday, I think.
Yesterday. So the timing, the Godzilla, of course, this is I want to see the third movie in the trilogy. Is it third? I think you had
this will be a
Godzilla movie, the third, right?
We had the Godzilla, then Godzilla versus King Kong, and now it's Godzilla featuring King Kong. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's coming out April 12th, 2024. The timing of it's interesting, right on the heels of Godzilla -1's, really well received movie. And in fact, when we talked about Godzilla -1 on Friday, we're like, wow, finally a movie where, Godzilla's the bad guy and we're rooting for the human characters. And once again, we're going to have the movie where Godzilla and King Kong is trying to save the world, and we don't really give a shit about the human characters, I think. What did you think about the trailer?
I thought it looked pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know on this panel, in this duo we have, I'm the guy who is more interested in the bright lights and cool sound effects and all that. So when you show me a trailer that is mostly some kind of epic
sound effect,
epic music and sound effects and explosions and shit. I'm I'm gonna be interested, guys. I mean,
well, that's what makes us good is we're well rounded. So you kind of we cover all the areas of the spectrum of movies, and that's what makes us great doing it together.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer for Killers of the Flower Moon, I was actually in pain and how hard I winced. Oh God.
Yeah.
So
well, I'll tell you this: I'm not in pain or in wincing at looking at this by no means. But at the same time, I can't help but to think there's some level of pandering happening here.
Oh yeah.
It's going to continue the story. I don't think Godzilla looks as good as Godzilla -1. I'm going to just say it.
I saw people bitching about his pink light, and I gotta say that's off-putting.
That's canon.
Is it really? I thought it was supposed to be blue.
There's a version of Godzilla that actually transforms into the pink color light. So there's you got to remember there's different types of Godzillas. There's evolutions of Godzilla and stuff like that. So no, I believe that's canonical. But it looks awfully strange after just seeing the cool blue light and the way it did, and now you see this and you're like, I think it's going to do one of two things. I think this trailer coming out now is going to it's going to get a lot of people probably excited for Godzilla even more. Like this is a good time to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
But it's also going to be an opportunity for people to criticize these newer Godzilla movies over the old. So I think you're going to get both aspects of it here.
Right. And I guess they're like buddy cops looking running. Look, I'm making fun of it, but honestly, it looks like a fun movie to watch. You know? And I'm in Godzilla mode right now because I just saw -1, which I enjoyed. So
let me ask you this question. So what did you think of Godzilla versus King Kong?
It wasn't bad. It was fun.
Okay. Well, if we go back and look at it again, and we did a review on it. Mm-hmm. If you go back and look at that, we were pretty critical of it.
Sure.
So but
I did like that. I did like the end when they teamed up and he threw him his weapon. Remember?
Yes, you did like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I did. Guys, I'm sorry. I like explosions.
It's not explosions.
That. Big giant monsters are fighting each other. Like, what the fuck? Who does it?
I just don't know if I like the whole buddy cop thing between the two. Like, I kind of liked the aspect of them fighting each other, and then maybe having a moment where they serve each other's purpose. But once,
and that was good about that movie is that that was a worse foe. It's like the enemy of my enemy, and so they basically grouped together. It wasn't. I don't think it was supposed to be like it's a buddy cop sequel,
right? Yeah. Right. So it works when it's like both of our things align what we want, so we can work together. But really, we just want to fucking kill each other,
right? And I like the fact that they fought for a long time, and they came to a stalemate after stalemate before they realized that there was something worse. And when they finally defeated that thing together, they just sauntered away on their separate ways. They weren't just they weren't high-fiving and let's go a beer. They were I'm out.
They really humanized Godzilla in that last movie though, by chaining him and having this, relationship with the kid, almost like Godzilla cared about the kid. I don't know. I know that's kind of the route you got to go sometimes, but as long as it's more, beast killing beast, I think I'll be okay with it. I'm definitely going to watch it.
Why does King Kong have a mech arm?
You mean the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah, he has he has the he has the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet on. What's that about?
I'm not sure. I don't know enough of. There might be
some kind of lore to that. He has a mech arm. I mean, it looks sort of cool. Again, guys, I don't need a whole lot of story. I'm good. I'm good. This looks fun.
No, I mean, okay. I mean, you can go have fun, but you still need a story. You
do. I'm not gonna say it's a great movie, but look, bro. If what we saw in the trailer is what we get in the movie, but it's longer, and I go see a movie, and I'm entertained, I'm not one of those guys where it has to be a good movie for me to be like, that was worth my $12.
That's fair. No, I think it's totally fair comment. I will say some of the pandering is Baby Kong. There's a pandering moment. We had, how many times did we see Baby Kong in the trailer?
Yeah, I'm tired of the Baby Kong crap.
I mean, and it's
also, this looks like an album, you guys. This looks like they're dropping a hot fire album this coming summer.
New Empire, right?
X Kong. I'm just expecting there to be like a rap version where they both rap together. New Empire. That's their new rap group, New Empire. I don't know, man.
It seems
Again,
like
I'm making fun of it, but I'm gonna watch this movie. 100%. I'm watching this film.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I do think that. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it turns out. I just remember thinking at the end of the last movie, I'm like, I don't really care what happens next. I remember thinking that, like, it just doesn't matter to me.
Sure.
That we're now in the center of the earth. Obviously, it's going to come out. They seem to be fighting some different version of King Kong, like an evil Kong, I guess. It looks to be the bad guy here.
Evil King. No, they actually, they haven't shown us the actual bad guy.
I thought they did. I thought they did in one of the scenes in the trailer. It's like a thinning haired Kong, like where the hair is like he's brown and kind of thinning hair, and he's like on top of the earth and screaming or something. There's like one scene. Well, like I said,
Archmage phrase. It's Mirror Universe Kong.
Yes, there it is. Mirror Universe. He's got a goatee.
And Mirror Universe Godzilla. That's why it's evil. Pink and not blue.
I don't think that's the case, but yeah.
What if we see Godzilla and he has a goatee? He's like, oh, that's the bad one.
That would actually be badass, and I might get behind something like that, like a parody movie of Godzilla King Kong. That'd be kind of funny. So yeah, we got several months of and probably more trailers coming. I will say I don't think the trailer gave everything away.
No, good trailer,
which was good. You know, I don't need another trailer.
So I like the hand coming out of the dirt in like Egypt or whatever. That was cool. Them running.
Wolverine says Scar King is the villain. Scar King.
Them running like really fast. Someone was mentioning that it feels like there's less scale because they're moving so quickly. And I can see that though, because like usually when you have the hulking figures, they're like, roar, roar, and like it gives scale, like they're big, you know. And I think Godzilla's arms are a little bit too long, right? Like,
Godzilla don't look like the Godzilla.
He was like running with his arms.
Somebody I wrote.
Why is he not galloping? Why is he walking on 2 feet?
Somebody said he had better running form than the Flash from DC.
Yeah.
Like Godzilla's got better running form.
Yeah,
Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, listen. I'm watching the crap out of this movie. Regardless, you know. So
I don't know if I'm watching the crap out of this movie, but I'm going to go see it.
Well, I'm going to watch it opening weekend for sure.
The crap out of it.
Like, look, you've been dragging me to all these boring effing movies for the last 6 months. I'm going to watch this opening.
This is just the ones that Hollywoods are coming out with. Okay, it's
right,
not dragging.
You're right. You're right. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm saying that Hollywood sucks this year, and I'm suffering for it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. That's it for Godzilla versus.
So I think
Godzilla featuring Kong, new hot fire track dropping this summer, baby.
I don't know how it's Godzilla featuring Kong because Kong was seems to be most of the movie, so it seems like Kong featuring Godzilla, but we'll see.
Yeah, also, I got a question for the graphics department. Why is the font for Godzilla Kong tall, but the X is wide? When clearly you should have used a tall X because it's the graphics it's actually bothering me right now, the typeface.
Can you explain why the X means featuring?
I don't actually know.
Did you make that up?
No, I didn't make it up. But I keep seeing all these new albums come out or songs, and it's like Rihanna featuring Jay-Z, and they don't use the word featuring anymore. They put X in the title. So Rihanna X, Jay-Z, Tom McDonald X, some right-wing rapper guy, whatever. Like it's always X. It's not, no one's using featuring anymore.
I wonder if the X is just supposed to be like a hyphen. You know what I mean? Like I wonder if we're reading too much into it.
No, I keep seeing that. So the chat can tell us too. What does X mean on songs?
Yeah, Wolverine says I think the X means and I feel like that must be it because the featuring thing sounds weird to me. Like it seems more of a King Kong movie than a Godzilla movie, in my opinion. And it all started with King Kong, didn't it? Did we have the Kong movie?
There we go.
Could this be the fourth movie? No, I think you had the Kong movie, then Godzilla. I don't know. I quit.
Okay, so it's a collaboration, right?
Oh, I see.
So it
So it
means
just means they're collaborating.
there's no difference between and, X, with, or featuring. They all mean collaboration.
Jesus, just put and.
Unless it's a remix, and then they'll use verses. So if it's a
Just
remix, it'll
yeah.
use verses.
What is remix? What do you mean, like in music remix?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about this movie actually.
No, I know, but like they're using the music industry like typeface. I've never seen that in a movie. I have hundreds of movie posters. I've literally never seen that once. So they're using like the music industry, like with the way they write things. And so yeah, and, X, and with, and featuring are pretty much all the same thing. It means collaboration.
Okay, all right. With that said, are you guys going to go see Godzilla versus? No, I'm sorry, Godzilla featuring Godzilla X Kong, whatever. The new Empire. Let us know if you're going to go see
Godzilla in collaboration with Kong.
Godzilla featuring Kong. Okay. Let's move on because there's a great comment here about Godzilla. His arms are too long. What is this? Doctor Who?
Speaking of Doctor Who, I'm gonna try to
let's do a quick run through Doctor Who.
Yeah. Quick run through.
We need to spend a lot of time on it.
So Doctor Who dropped the Wild Blue Yonder this past Saturday, and you know what? It's very odd because it opened up for no reason. It opened up with Isaac Newton. This is Isaac Newton. The African American version of Isaac Newton.
No, he's actually half Indian.
Oh, okay,
he's
whatever.
Not African American.
This version of Isaac Newton, and for some reason, this is completely useless. So it comes out, the TARDIS flies by, and there's no reason to this.
It's actually kind of typical Doctor Who in a way, and because they do have other episodes of past Doctor Who where they'll randomly run into some historical figure. And so I don't think I think it, and it actually does pay off later in the episode when, remember they say, what he says right here. Well, what was the word that they just said? They kind of did the joke about gravity. He's like, what did they say? And he's like, mavity. Right. So he called it mavity instead of gravity because he misunderstood what they said. And so it's like the word gravity was not gravity anymore. It was mavity. And later in the episode at the end, Doctor Who actually says, what's with all this mavity? So there was like a kind of a payoff to the joke.
Yeah, you could have cut that 5 minutes out though. Wouldn't have changed anything.
Anyways, the point is, I'll tell you the reason why I think Nathaniel Curtis is playing Sir Isaac Newton. Nathaniel Curtis, and honestly, we wouldn't probably have stopped here at all,
right?
Except for the fact that now we are questioning Davies. After last episode, we are wondering, whether or not he is putting agenda over story. Like now we need to know, like, what's up? What's up, Davies? What are you doing?
What's up, bro? What's up?
And so our first scene is an Isaac Newton guy who's obviously been race swapped. So we're like, okay, what's your point here? Now, had we not had last episode happen, we probably it wouldn't have mattered. We wouldn't have been like,
right.
What does it matter? Like, okay, big deal. But so just, this character, this human being, his name's Nathaniel Curtis. His Indian, his mother is English. His father is Indian. So he's half Indian. He was previously on a show called Sin that Davies wrote. And this person does identify as queer, according to his bio. So, like I said, but it wouldn't raise eyebrows if you weren't thinking about it. And it allowed us to actually move, we had to think about this before we went into the episode.
Yeah, it forced us to think about this first.
Right. Now, unfortunately, go ahead.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, though, like that was completely unnecessary. It had no bearing on the story, and the actual story itself was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was a good Doctor Who episode.
It was a good Doctor Who episode. So like the TARDIS is messed up, so it splits. They're on this random ship somewhere. I'll let you guys watch it, but basically, something's going on with the ship. They can't figure it out, and they let some bad guys in. And I'm getting to that point right now because like they're super terrifying. And when they come in, they basically look like Doctor Who and Donna, and they're like their arms are too long, or they're like something's wrong with them. Like they're trying to turn into Donna and Doctor Who. I'm trying to find that one scene where like their mouth is open. It's pretty good. And it's legit terrifying. In fact, it reminded me of there's an anime where like you had like the big giant monsters with their giant faces and it's super terrifying stuff. But really cool. And they figure out that I'm not gonna spoil it, but they figure out how to deal with it, and it's a good episode, man.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely a Doctor Who episode. I was seeing I couldn't find anything about it. I was seeing on Twitter some people saying that oh, Doctor Who's gay now. I never found anything in the episode that made me think that, so I don't know if I missed something or if there wasn't anything. I didn't feel like there was. While we're still not sure like that we trust Davies to put the story over his own agenda, there's something interesting we got to note about this episode is that he removed a scene with Jodie Whittaker in it. So she was supposed to have a scene in this episode. And he removed it because it slowed down the episode. And so that's a really good sign when he chose telling his story over making a point by including her in the episode. And I think that's a good sign that it seems that he cares more about telling the story than not. And something else I also learned is that Davies actually wanted to make as many Doctor Who episodes as possible with Tennant as the Doctor. The reason we're only getting 3 is because Tennant and Catherine Tate, who plays Donna, they were only available for 3. He would have done 12 or 14. He would have done as many as he could.
Smart.
So that to me is a good sign. I mean, because it's obvious that more David Tennant as Doctor Who is good. And that's something that Davies would have also wanted. So while I still think we're going to get messaging and we're going to get some things because that's who Davies is, it does look like he is putting his story for the most part above his messaging. And hopefully going into the next episode, we'll see more of the same.
Yeah, and I do think this was a good episode of Doctor Who. Archmage says he's clarifying. The Doctor said Isaac Newton was hot, and that's the reason they thought he was gay.
I missed that.
Yeah, so I saw that. I didn't know that meant he was gay. I've said some men are hot, and I know everyone makes a joke about my sexuality because I joke about it, but I'm not gay. I'm as straight as it gets, and I think that some men are attractive, and I think that it's weird that you can't say a man is attractive without being called gay. I don't know.
Well, I mean, but there's a difference between saying that dude's hot.
Jason Momoa is objectively hot.
Right, but you're doing it tongue in cheek and because you think it's funny.
No, but I do think I'm not sexually attracted to him, but he is a hot male.
Right, but I know you wouldn't be sitting around going, Jim, I was just sitting around the other day and I got to tell you, Jason Momoa is very hot. It's just like you wouldn't be having that sort of conversation. It's always kind of a joke, and we always know that you do think he's got a great body and all that. No, he does.
I'm sorry, he's a good looking dude. Like
he's objectively right.
I don't actually want to have sex with Jason Momoa, but you look at Jason Momoa and you're like, dude, that is a good looking dude. His face, his body, his hair, everything about that guy is like hot. Right. I don't want to have sex with him, but I know objectively that most women do.
The term hot
or gay
infers, the term hot infers some sort of sexual attraction.
All right, wow.
So that's what it is. And you're just weird.
I didn't get that part. That I honestly didn't get that he was gay from that.
I didn't hear that he said the word hot about him. So I missed it completely. So yeah. And anyways, I think you need more than that to turn Doctor Who gay.
Yeah, I think you need more than that.
I think you need more than
because based on that alone, I am a flaming homosexual. If you've watched our podcast for the last 4 years, that's all I'm saying.
You talk about it enough, bro.
I do.
And on other people's shows. So I'm sure there are some people going,
wait, I thought Brian was gay.
What's up, Ryan? Maybe he's bisexual.
Happily married 21 years.
They got a queer for that too, bro.
Not saying I wouldn't try it. But
this is what I'm saying. This is what gets you in trouble.
I can't help it. Okay, this is part of who I am. Okay.
See, there you go. I don't know. I'm your brother, and I don't know.
Look,
I don't know if that tells you anything.
I only find some men hot, but I would never kiss them because kissing is gross.
Okay, that's. You didn't help him solve anything. Like I think that Brad Pitt is
Look, I would sleep with them, but I wouldn't kiss them. No kissing.
All I asked was how much.
Look, kissing is gay, but full on anal sex, that's fine.
All I asked was how much. Remember that guy in the Lady Ball?
I only asked how much.
I only asked how much. It was actually pretty funny.
How much? At the end, when you thought he was going to do it one last time, he's like,
yeah.
Huh? And he gets pulled down by Andrew Clavin, I think his name is.
I don't know who that guy is.
The other ghost. He's like, that's the biggest kind of woman I've ever seen.
Yeah. There's some funny stuff.
Oh my.
Anyways, Doctor Who episode. Yeah, if you're worried about agenda over story, you can watch that episode pretty much.
Good episode.
With no, and it feels like classic Doctor Who.
And if you're worried about the agenda part, just skip the first 5 minutes. Nothing will change.
I don't even know if that's an agenda. I only feel like it's an agenda because of last week's episode, and that's the first thing you see.
I'm just saying, but that's the only thing that you can even surmise as being like agenda driven. So just skip it. It has no bearing on the story.
Right, and ultimately the guy's half white. Just saying.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. I would honestly just like fast forward through
what are you?
Fast forward to the title and move on.
Yeah, I mean, when you're half something, I think that qualifies you as either or.
I don't know. I'm a lot of things, and I don't think I'm qualified as anything but white. But
like the head coach for my football team, the Miami Dolphins, his dad is black, his mom is white. He happens to look white, but he's black. So I think you can identify as whatever you want when you have
that one guy from the sports guy with the afro, football guy with the afro that like wasn't really a good football player, but got like everyone mad that they fired him. Remember?
Oh, Gumble?
No.
Bryant Gumble?
No. He was a actual like football player, quarterback. Okay. He has a white name, but he looks black.
He's got a mixed race. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The guy who got everybody to kneel.
Yeah, he got everyone to kneel. Yeah. Everyone's like, they're firing him because he's black. They're racist. Like, actually, no, he's actually a really shitty football player.
well, no, he was actually a really good football player. He got bad. He ended up doing poorly. They probably would have kept him, but he was a PR nightmare. Yeah. That was the problem, why he couldn't get a job anywhere. Nobody wanted to deal with the PR.
What was his name? Something.
It's I know I've watched him.
Kapowski.
No.
Anyways, okay. I'm not a football guy. Sorry. All right, what's next? Oh, we're gonna be going to the members section pretty soon. Yes, in the members section, while he's looking that up, we're gonna be talking about Paramount shutting down Kelsey Grammer over a Trump interview.
Colin Kaepernick.
That's right. Colin Kaepernick. American civil. Yeah, I mean, he's not even a football guy anymore. He's just a civil rights activist.
Well, that's because he doesn't play football.
So we're gonna be talking about the Paramount shutting down an interview that Kelsey Grammer was doing with BBC because of his support for Trump, which this is new to me. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse director says Bob Iger's comments are absolute bullcrap. And we were going to do the Weekly Weird in this side, but we're going to save it for we're out of time. We're going to save it for the member section.
What, Weekly Weird?
Yeah.
No, you got to do the Weekly Weird. Okay. We do it every week. Can't switch that up.
You're right. All right.
We will hold the other two because we got to do the poll, got to do the whole thing. So yeah, so we're going to hold those two stories. If you want to be a member, just click on the join button you're watching right now, and you'll be able to go right over to our member section. But first, let's do the Weekly Weird. Before we give what we have, what's last week's so we can do the poll?
Yeah, last week's I wrote them down this time.
Nice.
I thought this one through. It was but where did I write them down? That's the question. I think in the
Where did I write them down, as you said?
I wrote them down somewhere.
Is the $3,300 sandwich still in there?
Yeah, no, that's oh yes, that's still there. Liquid Death is gone. Oh my god, I did write them down, I swear. I gotta start writing them down. I put them in Popcast News, perhaps?
I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, $3,300 sandwich. That's there for sure. And damn, I had them actually written down. The new one you want? Yeah, let me give you the new one. Last week we did the poop map. This week it's this is the third question is Riz named word of the year.
Say that again.
Riz, the word Riz named word of the year.
Okay.
What was the third one though for that one? Third marriage sandwich.
It was the liquid business, billionaire business.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so that's gone now.
Okay.
And let me put this in here so I don't lose this one this time. Okay. So you got the three options in there. We're going to do the poll.
I've got two. I've got sandwich and Riz weird of the year. What's the third one?
The liquid web, right?
No, you said it was gone. Okay, so it's not.
Yeah, it's not. Well, no, it's supposed to be gone. I need to add two more. You're right. That's my bad. Sorry.
This is doing really well.
I know. This is super late. I apologize. Here we go.
What's the third one?
Woman gets unemployment benefits after spending 11 days on hold.
We have to get these titles better. Women gets
unemployment benefits after spending 11 days on hold. Like on hold on the phone.
Oh, on hold on the phone. Okay. All right, we're starting the poll. So what is the one we're going to do here?
Oh, this one's great. All right, get ready for it. It's a banger.
You guys are professionals? Doesn't feel like it right now, Ken.
Sorry, I apologize. You got the Riz one in there, right?
Yeah, I got it. The poll's going right.
Okay. So today we're talking about Chinese celebrity chef offends China with egg fried rice video.
Oh, all right.
I try to do the video stuff for the side.
I like that.
Let me pull it up real quick. Sorry. Okay. Video starting. Here we go. Anytime now, Guardian? Okay. All right, check this out.
Chef Wang Gang, you must have seen his videos of Chinese cooking. He's got a straightforward style of cooking Sichuan and Chinese cuisine.
Oh, it's too long.
Now, like
oh my god, I have the wrong one.
We found his
Jesus, today is a
what's going
today's
on
a
here?
fun day. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, guys. I had this right, and now I don't.
Oh, I got a spelling error.
Dude, so we're doing great today.
Spelled weird wrong, I think, didn't I? I can see it myself. I see it.
I think I blocked Java for some reason, so I can't get the stupid video to pull up because I blocked the ads. What a disaster. Yeah, I blocked Java.
This is just absolutely terrible.
I'm on Java, so my video's not working. I should have recorded this.
Just a reminder, while Brian's doing this, we are going to be talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse director. Says Bob Iger's comments are absolute bullshit. I got to tell you, that's a very brave thing for him to say. So, and the comments that Bob Iger said about the Marvels being essentially no one watching over them properly, and he's got some absolute zingers to basically explain why Bob Iger's full of crap. And Paramount PR shuts down the BBC during a Kelsey Grammer interview where they ask him about Trump, and it's sad and frightening that this is the way people are not allowed to speak.
We're abandoning the Chinese one because that website won't load. Okay, I'm going to use Wednesdays. I'm going to have to find something else.
Do you have?
Yeah, I have Wednesdays too. All right, the new Weekly Weird is child driving stolen construction forklift leads Ann Arbor police on a chase. And here we go. And this video actually loaded. Okay. So that is a child in a forklift.
Is that a forklift?
Yeah, it doesn't look like a forklift to me, but the headline said forklift. Oh yeah, it is a forklift. It's like one of those. It's one of the bigger ones. And he's leading police on a chase through the neighborhood.
The hell? Where's this at?
That's a big forklift, though, right? It is, though. That's like one of those truck-sized forklifts.
That's not. Is that a forklift? Or
Yeah, it's in Ann Arbor. Police said the vehicle was stolen from outside the middle school after a key was found inside the cab.
Have key will drive. That's great.
At what point do you think you should stop? If you're a child driving a forklift, at what point do you go, you know what? There are 14 police cars behind me. Or you're like, you know what? I'm already effed. I'm just going to get the most out of this experience.
I mean,
oh my God, you hit that car. Look at that.
Wow.
Boom. Oh, you just sent that.
This is why people run from the police in the first place. Fear makes you do crazy things.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Now he's on the sidewalk. He says, "Fuck the street. I'm going on the sidewalk."
I gotta tell you, for a kid, he's a pretty darn good driver.
Yeah, he sort of is.
I mean, I don't know if we could drive that thing that well.
I mean, it looks like it's like a car chassis,
but it's got to be top heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's real heavy.
Thank you, NBC News.
Did you see how he hit that van and the van just took off into the driveway? Yeah, what it says is a 12-year-old boy driving a stolen construction vehicle led police on an hour-long chase, striking 10 parked vehicles in the process.
Oh my God.
The vehicle, equipped with a forklift and weighing 3,500 pounds, was stolen from outside the middle school. And the cop said it's a very dangerous situation that could have easily ended with serious injuries. Yeah, no shit, bro.
How old was they say how old the kid was?
12 years old.
Oh, the kid was 12. Mm-hmm. Are you shitting me? Brian, that is weird news. Thank you. Like, no 12-year-old should be able to drive a vehicle like that.
And he kept lowering this is what it says. He kept lowering the hook so that he can, so if he hit a vehicle, it wouldn't hurt the forklift, but instead smash. So he knew what he was doing.
He must have driven it before. Cannot be the first time.
He was able to lower the hook thing. Like,
yeah.
Look, I'm a 42-year-old man. I wouldn't know how to do that.
Hey, he's taken that thing for a joyride before.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
He 100% has. So we're going to have to do the Chinese celebrity chef thing on Wednesday. And I'll just save that video because it was really funny.
All right. Well, we do have, we have 8 votes in our poll. So we're going to close that out here in just a second. Remember, we're going to go over to the member section. Wednesday, I'm not sure we're going to be talking about yet when we come back here. We'll just have to see what kind of peels out for this week's, over the next day or two for news. And then we'll come back with something interesting, hopefully. And I don't know what the movie is this week either. Do you know what the movie's coming out for Friday?
No, I'll find out right now.
Because we do want to cover whatever's, coming out near us.
I don't see anything good coming out this week. That doesn't mean there's not a movie coming out. That just means it's not a movie I want to watch.
Oh, we can go watch Renaissance, a film by Beyonce.
No, I'm not.
All right.
I'm sorry. I got to draw the line somewhere, dude.
So there may be no movie this week, actually, because now I look at it, there's really, you're right. There's nothing here.
Yeah, I'm not watching Renaissance.
Well, I understand that it is #1 in the box office over the weekend.
I don't give a crap. I'm not doing it.
What's up with it? Why does everybody want to go see? In a world where everybody wants to go see Taylor Swift and Beyonce, what's up with that?
I think that people are bored. I don't know. I think there's people that are super fans of Beyonce and Taylor Swift, and we're not. So we don't understand it, but maybe they're like hyper fans,
So if you are an anime fan, The Boy and the Heron is coming out this week. That's the big movie, and it does have a lot of big names in it.
The Boy and the Heron.
Yeah, it's some of the people in it include. I swear I saw that preview, and I would have swore that there were American names in here, but apparently all I'm seeing is Japanese cast members.
Ooh, the Abyss Special Edition comes out this Wednesday, dude.
Okay.
I might want to cover that.
What? No, we're not covering that.
Why
I do want to cover a 20-some-odd-year-old movie.
I do want to watch it, though.
Honestly, I don't know how much better they can make it.
That's true.
Like it is what it is. Like what are they going to do? 4K plus or what is the new thing now? Like
I don't know. There's also a Die Hard special edition coming out this Friday too.
it is that time for Christmas.
Yeah, hey, it's a Christmas movie. That's why it's coming out.
I think it is.
You know, my wife got about 10% hotter last night when I was like, when some song came up that reminded me of Die Hard. I'm like, oh, that's a Die Hard song. And she goes, best Christmas movie ever. And I'm like, fucking love you.
What?
Yes, my wife said
She
that.
didn't say it's the
I
best
swear to
Christmas
God,
movie
she
ever.
said best Christmas movie ever. I'm like, you like Die Hard? I've been with her for 25 years. We've never watched Die Hard together.
Wow. The fact that, listen, don't ever say anything bad about your wife again. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, Christmas Vacation, probably the best Christmas movie of all time, but that's good.
Nah, Die Hard. 100% Die Hard.
So No Money G, $5. Thank you, No Money. He just gave us a sticker that says hype. Yeah,
Hype?
with a little look hippo.
I do want to see this Abyss special edition. I didn't like there was things I didn't like about the Abyss. Because the time it came out, and like I would like to see if they were able to like fix those graphics, add more better sound.
Well, at the time the graphics were completely cutting edge.
I know.
I mean, it was pretty amazing. So, I mean, I don't know. I think the fact that they had to breathe in water was like
that was super cool.
It was so cool, man.
That was super cool
and frightening and disgusting.
It was terrifying too. Like I don't know if I could do that.
Anyways, we got to move on to the member section, but we did get a, oh my gosh, there's a tie. Okay, if you haven't voted, we need one more vote for
we need one more vote. Someone vote.
Sandwich or the women's unemployment benefit. Our winner today is, I think Kenneth Aroke donated the most, but Joe Cronin came in with the win. So I think what we'll do is we're just going to send them both something. How about that?
Seems fair to me.
Yeah. So both of you guys will get something from the mystery at mixtees.com. And Kenneth, you have several items coming as it is. So definitely, Joe, if we haven't sent you something before, send us your information so we can send you something.
We need one more vote. One more vote for the Weekly Weird. Come on.
If not, I'll vote. I'll pick one because I haven't done it.
Okay. You got 10 seconds to vote before Shane does it. 10.
Yeah. And
9.
you've seen them all, and I haven't, so I don't know what I'm picking.
Yeah. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Someone voted for the one that wasn't a tiebreaker. You bastards. 1. Shane voted up.
$3,300 sandwich. Oh, which somebody else picked. Yes, we're the same.
Okay.
But one officially. $3,300 sandwich.
All right. The unemployment benefits.
I got to know.
On Wednesday. Come back for that on Wednesday.
It needs a better headline, honestly.
It's not my fault. I didn't write the headline. I could just read the headline.
I'm just saying.
All right. All right, we're going to the member section. If you are a member, we would love to see you over there. Come on down. You can. The links are in the description for either the Prime membership or the Unleashed. You can also just stick around here, and we will start the Unleashed membership stream within 30 seconds of ending this stream. And if you're not a member, please consider being a member. And if you're still watching and you haven't liked this stream, please the YouTube overlords and like. And hopefully when I say like this stream, the little button starts to pop up because it makes little colors. And if you're not a subscriber, do that too. We love you so much. We'll see you guys in the member section, or we'll see you guys on Wednesday, whatever you decide.
Yes, we love you.